What's up, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com here with your free Major League Baseball home run prop show for Friday, June 30th, 2023. And just a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and smash that thumbs up. It helps us out a bunch. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily $19 best bet, head on over to Pickdawgz.com and click the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. But let's get into the home run prop action for Friday. Had a decent day with the home run props again on Thursday. Managed to hit another 4 home run props, make some nice plus money. Got a couple of nice big payers too on that front as well. Um, but again, we will get into the action momentarily and do that recap. Sorry to get this out a little bit late today. We do have a lot of primetime action. The morning show did run a little bit long for us this morning, but still plenty of time to get in your bets for tonight's action. We're gonna have a lot of primetime action. There were no plays in that Cubs game and the early game for me, so everything's gonna be 5 p.m. Eastern time and on. But before we get into that action, I want to remind everybody these plays are meant to be very high risk, high reward. They are not plays you're meant to dump your whole bankroll into. Just plays that are there for some side action, just for some money on the side, some pizza money or some coffee money for some fun. Um, any plays that you recommend, or any plays you get from here that I recommend, I recommend playing them straight. You don't have to play every single game or player prop that I give out on the board. These are just the plays that I'm going to look at, plays that I'm probably going to have a couple of bucks on while the games are going on tonight. And I do know that some people like to parlay these home run props. So if you're going to do a parlay, any parlay that's 3 legs or more, I recommend doing a round robin if it's within your means. So basically, a round robin, you're taking, say you do a 3-leg parlay, you're playing 3-leg parlay, but you're also playing each combination of 2 in that 3-leg parlay, giving yourself a safety net. Now, obviously, it is going to drive up the price of the bet. A $5 3-leg parlay, if you're putting 5 legs on the 2 legs as well, that $5 bet now becomes 20. But if you have one leg that goes awry, I mean, how many times have all of us had one leg of the parlay that gets busted up? And we don't win anything. But if you have that round robin, you still get paid out on the 2 legs you did hit if one leg gets messed up. Or if you hit all 3 legs, hey, you also win all the combinations of 2 legs as well. Get yourself an even nicer payday there. But without further ado, let's take a look at the recap of the plays that we did hit on Thursday. We started things off with the Angels. We hit a couple of Angels here. We hit Mike Moustakas at plus 550. Really, really thriving in his new digs in Los Angeles with the Angels, and definitely came through for us there. So Mike Moustakas at plus 550. Also Shohei Ohtani, again, keeping up the absolutely torrid pace of home run props in the month of June. It's absolutely tearing it up right now, still cashing at plus 265. And we also caught Brandon Nimmo at plus 500 for the Mets in that matchup against the Brewers. And JD Martinez coming through at plus 290 as well. Now, before we get into the home run prop action for Friday, I always say I love interacting with you guys. So let me know in the comment section below. Do you like some of the angles I took on some of these games? Do you not like the angles? Do you have player props of your own? Like I said, drop them in the comment section, because sometimes I even take a look at the comment section and put a couple bucks on some of the guys you guys put in. Some of the plays you guys put in there, because some of them have been absolute fire. But I ask everyone, if you're going to do that, make sure that you drop them in there before the games actually start. If they're not in there before the games start, they don't help anybody. And we're trying to beat the books as a team at Pickdawgz, whether it's home run props, any player props, sides, totals, spreads, money lines, you name it. Our goal as the Pickdawgz family is to crush the books as a team, one goal, and that goal every day is to get paid. And I think we're going to do that today with these home run props. And I'm also going to ask for your guys' opinion on some of these games too. We'll talk about it as the show goes on. But the first one we're going to look at here is we're going to look at this matchup between the Reds and the Padres. And for the Reds, we're going to look with Elly De La Cruz at plus 410. He's hitting .316 with 3 extra base hits, including a home run against righties in the last week. Now Seth Lugo making his just his 3rd start back in the rotation. He's in a hitter's paradise at Great American Ballpark. He hasn't a lot of home runs, but I think that could potentially change today. So I'm going to take Elly De La Cruz for a home run at plus 410. I'm also going to look at Jake Fraley for a home run at plus 540. The hottest home run bat for Cincinnati in the last 2 weeks against righties. And in the last 7 days, Fraley hitting .294 with a pair of home runs. It's going to be Jake Fraley for a homer at plus 540. I'm also going to look at Matt McLain at plus 440. He's hitting .381 with 6 extra base hits in the last week against right-handed pitching, including a pair of home runs. So I'm going to take Matt McLain for a homer at plus 440. And I'm going to switch dugouts. You're going to look at a San Diego Padre. You're going to look at Juan Soto at plus 325. He's hitting 379 with 3 home runs and 6 extra base hits in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitching. Now, Graham Ashcraft, he has been getting bombed for the better part of the season, has allowed 10 home runs in his last 7 starts with an 11.20 ERA in that stretch. And of the 12 home runs that Ashcraft's allowed this season, 9 have come in Cincinnati at Great American. So I'm going to look at Juan Soto for a homer at plus 320. I'm also looking at guys like, Fernando Tatis Jr., who have been hitting for average. Not for homers as of late, but we all know Tatis Jr. definitely capable of putting one over the fence, especially at Great American against Ashcraft. That may change, but it wasn't strong enough for me to make it official like it was Juan Soto. So just my opinion on that. But also going to look at this matchup between the Orioles and the Twins. I'm going to go with a couple of Orioles here. I'm going to go with Anthony Santander at plus 425. I just have to keep riding the hot hand of Santander against righties. He's hitting 368 with 3 home runs in the last week against right-handed pitching. Pablo Lopez has been better on the road for the Twins. He hasn't allowed a ton of home runs, but Santander is on one right now. I like him in this matchup, so give me Anthony Santander at plus 425. I'm also going to look at Gunnar Henderson at plus 700. He's hitting 385 with 3 extra base hits in the last week against right-handed pitching. One of the best barrel rates with the Orioles at plus 13%. So give me Gunnar Henderson here at plus 700. I was also looking for some Twins in this matchup off of Dean Kramer, who does have a 10.5% barrel rate this season. He's allowed a lot of hard contact, but nothing really stood out for me. The Twins, they strike out a ton against righties, and any Twin that's hitting well right now is hitting for average and not for power. But let me know in the comment section if you guys are looking at any Twins for home runs in that matchup. But we'll get to another couple official plays here. We're going to go to this matchup between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. And I'm going to go with George Springer here at plus 575. This is a matchup play for me. Springer, he's had a decent track record of power off of James Paxton. In his career, Springer, 9 hits and 37 at-bats against Paxton with 4 extra base hits, including 3 home runs. So I'm going to take George Springer for a home run at plus 575. And I'm also going to look at Bo Bichette, also at plus 575. He's hitting 500 with 3 extra base hits in the last 2 weeks against lefties. Now, Bo Bichette is always a live shot at going yard here. We're constantly getting solid prices with him. So I think it's worth a look here. Give me Bo Bichette for a homer at plus 575. I'm also going to look at Brandon Nimmo for a home run for the Mets at plus 700. I'm going back to the well with Nimmo here, who's been lighting up righties in the last 2 weeks, hitting 286 with 5 home runs. Alex Cobb has been decent for the Giants, decent mid-level arm, but he's been much worse on the road. A 4.61 ERA. 5 of the 6 home runs he's allowed this season have come on the road. If you want to shrink Nimmo's numbers to the last week alone, he's hitting 368 with 4 home runs. So give me Brandon Nimmo at plus 700. I'm also going to look at Francisco Lindor at plus 550. He's hitting 273 with a pair of home runs against righties in the last week. So give me Francisco Lindor there at plus 550. I'm also looking at Pete Alonso for the Mets at plus 350. In his career against Alex Cobb, a small sample size, but 2 for 5 in his career against Cobb with a home run. This feels like a good launch-off spot for Alonso to pick himself up off the mat, get the bat going. Again, he's been a little bit cold since coming back from the injured list, so I'll take a shot with Pete Alonso here at plus 350. Now, I'm going to switch dugouts. I'm going to look for a couple of plays against Carlos Carrasco. Had to do a little bit of digging for this one, but I like J.D. Davis for a home run at plus 480. He's hitting 290 against righties in the last week with 11 strikeouts. Now, normally that's not necessarily numbers I would consider, but there's no real Giants really swinging and hitting homers consistently right now against righties. In the last couple of weeks, I was only able to find a couple. But the thing for me is Carlos Carrasco, he's allowed 11 home runs this season, 1 or more home runs in 7 straight starts, and of those home runs, 6 have come in 4 home starts. 6 of those 11 have come in 4 starts at home. And 8 of them have come against right-handed bats like J.D. Davis. Now, Davis' stat line tells me he's making contact with the 290 batting average, and the 11 strikeouts tells me he's not holding back. He's swinging away, and this is definitely a Giants bat that can hit for power. So I'm going to look at J.D. Davis at plus 480. I'm also going to look at Jock Peterson for a home run at plus 325. He's usually a mainstay in the Giants lineup whenever they take on a right-handed starter. Also has 3 home runs in June against right-handed pitching. One of the highest totals for the month on the Giants. Also has a team-high 15.6% barrel rate at the plate, while Carrasco has allowed a ton of hard contact. He's given up a 9.5% barrel rate this season. It's going to be Jock Peterson for a home run at plus 325. I'm also going to look at the Atlanta Braves matchup here with the Marlins. I'm going to go with Matt Olson for a home run at plus 215. Not a great payout here on Olson, but I think the books are trying to protect themselves with the way that Olson's been hitting. He's hitting 324 with a ridiculous 7 home runs in the last 2 weeks against right-handed pitchers. Now, Brian Hoeing gets the start for the the Marlins, and he's been a nice, fill-in arm for the Marlins, but also less effective on the road. And this Braves lineup is just mashing right now, including and led by Matt Olson, who has a 19.8% barrel rate this season. So give me Matt Olson for a home run at plus 215. I'm also going to look at Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 275. He's got a 15.5% barrel rate, 4 home runs with a 407 batting average against righties in the last week. So give me Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 275. For the Marlins, before I get to the Marlins, I was also leaning towards Travis d'Arnaud, who has a pair of home runs and a 389 in the last week against righties. But I want to make sure he's starting. He normally splits time with Sean Murphy at catcher. Also, I like Austin Riley, who has a pair of home runs and a 346 batting average against righties in the last week. This could be another spot where you just sprinkle across the board on Atlanta and see what comes in by the end of the game. I'm also going to look at, for the Marlins here, I'm going to look at Garrett Cooper for a home run at plus 460. Now, no starting pitcher announced for Atlanta yet. It looks like it could be Michael Soroka, but he has been one of Miami's hottest hitters with a 478 batting average and a pair of home runs with 4 extra base hits in the last week. So I'll look at Garrett Cooper at plus 460. And I'm also looking at Jazz Chisholm Jr. at plus 360. It's in the same boat as Garrett Cooper, hitting really well right now with a pair of home runs, a 417 batting average in the last week. Also has a home run in 4 of his last 5 games. So give me Jazz Chisholm Jr. at plus 360. I'm going to go to this matchup between the Rangers and the Astros here. I'm going to go with a couple on both sides. I'm going to start with the Astros. I'm going to go with Jose Abreu at plus 700. Man, I remember when Abreu was just stinking up the joint. Couldn't buy a hit if his life depended on it. Now in the last week, he's hitting 467 with a pair of home runs, 4 extra base hits against right-handed pitching. Now John Gray starting for the Rangers today. Hasn't allowed much by way of homers as of late, but he has given up one in 3 of his last 5 starts. So give me Jose Abreu for a homer at plus 700. I'm also going to look at Kyle Tucker at plus 480. He's hitting really well against righties, also hitting 474 with a pair of home runs, 5 extra base hits. So give me Kyle Tucker for a homer at plus 480. For the Rangers, I'm going to look at Adolis Garcia at plus 290. He's hitting really well for power for the Rangers right now, hitting 3 home runs in the last week against right-handed pitching. Ronel Blanco starts for the Astros here. He has been decent, but he has struggled with home runs. He's given up 7 in his first 4 major league starts, including each of the last 3 outings where he's allowed at least, allowed a pair of home runs. So give me Adolis Garcia at plus 290. I'm also going to look at Jonah Heim for a home run at plus 410. He's hitting 385 with a home run in the last week against right-handed pitching. So I'm going to take Jonah Heim for a homer at plus 410. Now, there's a couple games I wanted to get your guys' opinions on. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on this Royals and Dodgers matchup. I mean, Bobby Miller, he's had issues lately, but it wasn't that long ago when he was dominating teams like the Phillies and Braves. Obviously, the Dodgers have the bigger bats, but there's none known here of Alec Marsh making his major league debut for the Royals. Marsh pitched well in AAA. Nothing I felt comfortable making official in that game, but again, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. And I was also thinking the same thing about the Rockies and Tigers. I want to make plays in that game with Austin Gomber and Michael Lorenzen going head-to-head here. But the Tigers haven't been very good against lefties this season. And every time I back Colorado Rockies, right now they seem to fall flat. So let me know if you guys have anything in that game. But before we get to our last few home run props for the day's action, I want to remind everybody, the purpose of this home run prop show is to obviously put you guys on some home run prop winners, put some money in your pockets, but it's also to highlight the betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place and what those betting tools can do for you. They do the heavy lifting. They show you player props. Like you can see, we get all the graphics for this morning's show directly from the betting tools at Pickdawgz and Sports Chat Place. They show you that player prop. They show you how often it hits, whether it's a 5-game sample size you want, 10 games, all home or away games, after a win, after a loss, the entire season, you name it, it'll show you the sample size, and it also shows you which sportsbook is giving you the best possible price. Now, the nice thing about that is if you don't have an account with the book that's giving you the best price, you click on that price, it takes you to the site, you sign up for a sportsbook bonus offer on us, you get to play that best possible price with that sportsbook bonus, but you're also getting the opportunity to add to your advantage over the books that they can't take away from you, which is your ability to shop lines and find the best possible number. There's also other tools on there. If you like betting hot and cold streaks, there's a streaks tool there. If you're a parlay bettor, there's multiple parlay builders on the site for you. There's profitable teams, profitable angles, profitable underdogs. You name it. I could go on and on. I could probably do a show every day for an hour just looking at the day's games and finding winning picks just based on using those betting tools. But I think it's better if everyone goes over to pickdawgz, checks out these betting tools and use them for yourself. I can promise you won't regret it. It's just much more effective that way, and I think you guys probably have a lot more fun doing it than just listening to me do it. So definitely make sure that you go over and check those out. But let's get into our last few home run props for Friday's action. I'm gonna go to this matchup between the Diamondbacks and the Angels. I'm gonna go with Ketel Marte for a home run at plus 430. He's on fire right now for Arizona against right-handed pitching, hitting .320 with 4 home runs in the last week. Now, Griffin Canning starting for the Angels today. He's allowed a home run in 5 of his last 7 starts, 6 home runs in his last 5 outings. So give me Ketel Marte for a homer at plus 430. I'm also going to look at Christian Walker for a homer at plus 390. He's hitting .375 with 5 extra base hits, including a home run in the last week against right-handed pitching. So give me Christian Walker for a homer at plus 390. I'm also looking at Evan Longoria for a homer at plus 450. He's hitting .385 with a pair of home runs against righties in the last week. Not often I backed Longoria, but he is hitting really well for the D-backs against righties. So I'll hop on the Evan Longoria train here. Give me Evan Longoria at plus 450. And our last official play, and I'll explain in a minute, that we have a graphic for, is going to be Shohei Ohtani at plus 270 on the other side. He has a ridiculous 14 home runs in the month of June, setting an Angels team record. And while most of that came against right-handed pitching, he's still hitting .333 with a pair of homers in the last 2 weeks against lefties. Tommy Henry, he's been a nice mid-rotation arm for the D-backs, but he has allowed a home run in 4 straight starts in 6 of his last 7, and also has allowed 9 home runs over that 7-start stretch. So give me Shohei Ohtani for a homer at plus 270. Now, I said it was our last official play that we had a graphic for, because I do have a couple more plays that will be official plays once we get the prices out for them. But it goes to this matchup between the White Sox and the A's. First one I like here is Luis Robert. Luis Medina, he's been getting teed off on for much of the season, starting for the A's. He's allowed 8 home runs in his last 7 starts. Robert has been on a tear lately. He's hitting .316 with 5 home runs against righties in the last 2 weeks. Couldn't find a price on Robert, but you better believe Luis Robert going to be a play that I have some bucks on Friday. Also, Eloy Jimenez, who's got 4 home runs, 7 extra base hits in the last 2 weeks against righties, and Andrew Benintendi, who has a .438 batting average with a home run and 6 extra base hits in the last 2 weeks against righties as well. So those would be my 3 plays for that game. Robert, Jimenez, and Benintendi for the White Sox. But let's do a recap of the plays that we did give out for Friday's action. We started things off with the Cincinnati Reds and Ellie De La Cruz at plus 410. Also had Jake Fraley at plus 540 for the Reds. And for the Reds, Matt McClain at plus 440. Lone play for the Padres in that game, Juan Soto at plus 325. Also a lean towards Fernando Tatis Jr. in that game. For the Baltimore Orioles, Anthony Santander at plus 425. And Gunnar Henderson at plus 700. For the Toronto Blue Jays, George Springer at plus 575. And Bo Bichette at plus 575 as well. For the Mets, I'm going to go with Brandon Nimmo at plus 700. Francisco Lindor at plus 550. And Pete Alonso at plus 350. For the Giants, J.D. Davis at plus 480. And Jock Peterson at plus 325. For the Atlanta Braves, our lowest payout on the day, but again, I'm not going to sneeze if it comes back at us. I'm not going to spit on it or look a gift horse in the mouth. Matt Olson at plus 215. Also for the Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. at plus 275. I stand by my thought this could be a catalog spot where you back a ton of Braves in this game against the Marlins and just see what comes up. I was leaning towards Travis d'Arnaud and Austin Riley as well. If you want the reasoning, just scroll back a little bit in the show, and you can find that just a few minutes ago. But also on the other side for the Marlins in that game, Garrett Cooper at plus 460, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. at plus 360. For the Houston Astros, we went with Jose Abreu at plus 700, and Kyle Tucker at plus 480. Also for the Rangers, we went with Adolis Garcia at plus 290, and Jonah Heim at plus 410. For the Diamondbacks, went with Ketel Marte at plus 430. Christian Walker at plus 390. Evan Longoria at plus 450. And Shohei Ohtani at plus 270. And again, even though we didn't have graphics for it, there will be official plays on Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, and Andrew Benintendi for the Chicago White Sox. But thank you so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Closing in on 134,000 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Couldn't have done it without you guys' love and support, so thank you for that. Also, again, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and hit that thumbs up. It really helps us out a ton. And make sure that you have notifications turned on. Sometimes I try to get these videos out as early as possible, and over the weekend we will have afternoon actions. I'm going to try to get them out for as early in the morning as possible, but sometimes, they will come out around 9 or 10, sometimes 11, and it's Eastern time, and it doesn't leave a lot of time between when the video is released and first pitch. But if you have notifications turned on, you get the information, the video, as soon as it drops. Get those picks and go and play them right away, and you can make sure you have your bets in for the day's action. Also, speaking of the day's action, if you're looking for my best bets, again, you can find those at Pickdawgz Premium. And while you're at Pickdawgz, while you're at Sports Chat Place, check out these betting tools. I promise you won't regret it. They are 100% free. They are there for you to use. You're not going to find betting tools like this anywhere. And even if you found anything close, you're probably not going to find them for free like we're giving them to you here at Pickdawgz. So definitely make sure you head on over, check them out, and let's make some money for you. But thank you again so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. Let's crush the books on Friday and head into the weekend strong.